Pusha T's diss track was a disrespectful diss track. That's a good diss track. That's a good diss track.
That was fire, boy.
It was very shocking what he was saying at the time. Right now, it won't be that shocking. And I have been for a while.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the Roundstar Podcast. I'm your host, Herb Bain. As you can see, the couch is a little bit different today. We missing two of our normals. They had to work. You know, sometimes it happens like that. This don't make money. The job do. So, you know, I can't blame them for leaving.
Hey, man. It is what it is.
But, you know.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, I know, right? To my left, man, I got my man Rich, you know, as always.
Yo.
And then to my right, he ain't been here for a little minute, but he back. We got the man that makes all the videos happen, Tengu.
Hello.
All right, man. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and call it out because I can't believe this is the wildest thing that ever happened to me in my life. Bro, who coming on here to look at people's feet, man? I ain't going to hold you. It's just weird.
Gotta say, appreciate the numbers. However.
And man, feet pics, 300.
I got to ask. That one person in the comments that kept saying the thing about the feet over and over and over, do you come from them or is it actually a joke? I have no idea.
Yeah, like I don't know what side you sitting on now, because it was a crazy. I found out. I just did the analytics one day because I remember like our viewers were going up, and I'm like, this is great. And me being me, I'm a Y type person, so I'm like, why is our viewers going up? And I look up, and the searches that we were under: male feet podcast. Male bare feet podcast.
Hey, 300.
Yeah.
300, man. 300.
And then we're on a gay corn site. In case y'all didn't know. Yeah, somebody got our stuff and put it on one of those sites.
That's funny. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually funny.
So I don't know how you gonna feel about that one. Yeah.
I saw the numbers go up on our videos. I was like, man, people really love fighting games. And little did I know.
They just like feet.
They just wanted the souls.
Yeah.
300. Remember 300. Man.
Yeah, so as you can see, none of that today. Everybody got socks on, you know.
I always have socks on.
Yeah. For the most part,
it's really the two people that aren't here today that usually are probably the stars on those sites.
The stars, probably. You're not wrong.
And then selling Nate's feet, 300.
They're probably not even watching this episode because they're like, oh, Zora and Nate ain't here? I ain't watching this one.
Yeah, they probably won't. They'll be like, You know what you do for the thumbnail? You should put them on the thumbnail.
And they're not even in it? There's a title of the video like FGC and feet. Just for the bait.
As soon as they start watching, you just play the Dave Chappelle clip. Gotcha. No, man. All right. But back to it. I ain't gonna lie. If I have recorded this the day of, it would have been a lot more vitriol in my voice because they can tell y'all I was not happy. I was not happy at all. But it's like I calmed down, so I'm like, it's whatever, man. Just keep it moving.
Yup.
Yeah, but I mean, for everybody else, what's going on with y'all this week, man? What's your week consisted of? Man, you been cracked down on Bloodborne, man. Don't even.
I literally said I was just saying.
No, you said I finished. No, you been cracked. You beat Bloodborne in what, a week?
Yeah, less than a week actually. Technically speaking, but yeah.
This man got cracked out on Bloodborne, bro.
I told you I had to beat it, bro. Because like the thing is, I never played Bloodborne, and out of the FromSoft series, I just never had a PlayStation for it, and I was like, bro. And I think one time it was supposed to be announced for PC. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just wait. Been like years now. I'm like, damn, I still haven't got a chance to beat this game. And then so Nate decided to let me borrow his PS4 for a week, and I mean, technically, I borrowed it for a week, and then I just beat it. And I was like, cool.
All right, Tigger, what you got going on?
I finally got back into playing fighting games now. I feel like it's been almost 2 months since I've played a fighting game. And then I went to the local and I was like, you know what? I've actually been practicing Tekken. Let's see what I got. Last place. Didn't go well.
Hasn't been practicing Street Fighter. What place you get?
Second. I did in both weeks I did real well in Street Fighter, and I didn't even touch that game. So now I'm like, shit, do I just play Street Fighter now? Is that just what I'm going to have to do?
I mean, that goes back to one of our previous discussions. I'm not going to rehash it, but I'm just saying, Just say it first. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
But other than that, it's just been. I finally started actually getting serious, like keeping up. I've made a schedule for stream stuff. I have some ideas for own personal video stuff. So the more and more I do this podcast, the more I have more experience with editing. So
Yep. Well, as for me, there's been a really big change in my life. For those of you who do go to the locals that watch this podcast, I know some of y'all do. It's probably going to be a shock to some of y'all because I didn't tell anybody. I only told certain people. But as far as it goes for our local scene, the Southwest Florida FGC, I am no longer the TO for the scene. Reason being is because I do a lot of technician stuff like on the back end. Just from creating content like this and doing streams when it comes to the scene and running commentary and things like that. I actually got really good with like camera work and OBS and stuff like that. So I have someone else who is going to be running their own content, and I was requested to go and help make content for them. So I chose to actually go and do that because I love everything that I do. Don't get me wrong. TOing was a passion that I didn't even know I had, and I loved it when I did it. Did it for about 2 years. But I also love the technician side of things, and when this opportunity came up, it got to a point where I couldn't juggle everything. It just literally got to a point where it's like I literally can't do everything. There's not enough time in the day. So I had to let one thing go, and that one thing was me TOing, because I knew if I let go of TOing, that's something that it'll still move on even if I'm not there. So shouts out to everybody who is standing in and taking my place. It was a pleasure working with all y'all. If you are at the locals and y'all watching this video, y'all probably upset with me because some of y'all were like literally there and you didn't even know that was my last day. I didn't plan on telling nobody except for a couple people in the back. So I meant to do that, but my bad if you feeling some way about it.
I mean, someone's gonna feel bad.
Oh yeah, somebody's gonna.
It
Yeah.
just happens.
I know one person in particular who definitely gonna say something about it. But I ain't gonna say no names, but I just know one person definitely in particular who gonna say something about it. But other than that, yeah, man, this pretty much been my week. Other than that, I've been playing Elden Ring, raging out of the game, and apparently I'm at the part of the game now where everything sucks.
So if you play Elden Ring, he literally just beat the Gaussian duo, and if you know anything past that, that's like actual like end game. Like that, like Gaussian duo is like the beginning of the end game of that game, and then every other boss after that, like main bosses and everything, is just so messed up, bro.
Yeah.
So messed up. And I'm excited to see him beat the game, right?
No, you excited to see me suffer? Don't lie.
Oh no, now you're actually gonna suffer this game. You're gonna suffer like everyone else did.
I don't want to spoil anything because I don't think you fought.
No. He did. He hasn't fought. He doesn't know anything past the.
I'll just say very vaguely, the lion guy.
Oh yeah.
That fight is sick.
That fight is the worst. One of the worst fights in that shit.
It's rough, but it's also like as a Dark Souls fight, like it does something that no other Dark Souls game ever does with this fight.
You know what? Let's stop it there. Because like, whoa, I have some words for that boss. When you get there, Al.
Oh yeah, they gonna hear it. They gonna hear about it as soon as I get that podcast. Gonna be eventful because I'm getting on here immediately.
You're gonna understand. And then he's like almost peak. He's almost peak of that game.
All right, man. But yeah. With that being said, man, I know we gotta do our fighting game topics. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and start off with that because you do a better job of me of combing through X.
Bro, I literally go on X. Someone say some crazy shit, and I'm like, damn, it popped off. Crazy. But I don't know which one you want me to do first. So.
Yeah, it's on you, man. They're your topics.
I just retweet it, bro, and I laugh at motherfuckers on Twitter, bro. That's all I do, man. That's all I really do. So let's get to the, let's not get too juicy yet. All right, let's a lot of things been happening on Twitter. Let's be real. So recently, a lot of pros don't like Tekken 8, and they don't like the current balance of Tekken 8. I'm pretty sure now after I think there's a live podcast, I don't know what you call it, presentation for like Eddie and whatnot. They did like a whole live, and they talk about the notes of like the
like
live,
a showcase.
the showcase. Thank you. So they did a lot of that. But that was before that whole crazy fiasco with everyone just saying like, bro, Tekken ain't it, bro. You know. So I don't know nowadays is it better because now like they know like a little patch roadmap, whatever you want to call it, because right now they're gonna do the current patch at an Eddie, and then after that, after Evo Japan, they're gonna do another patch that made another like a real major patch, like some characters gonna get packed up. And yeah. So yeah,
but okay, well let's break that down and start off from the first one. Is Tekken 8 really not it?
I mean, I think it's a current patch that's a little annoying because like I can understand what they're saying because a lot of the meta is like, well, power crush, use your power crush that has a heat engager that's quick as shit, safe as fuck for no reason, homing throws, throw counter hit throws, what else is meta? Any character that has really good raw running that's really good.
So okay, with that, what are you saying?
Oh, he in itself.
So I get you said you see what they're saying, but I'm asking y'all personally, like, do you feel like Tekken? Because we all played 7, so do you feel like Tekken 8 not it?
I think it's too young to say something like that, in my opinion. I think I have fun with playing the game personally. Yeah. So like, I mean, I won't say it's not it, but like, I can understand why people are like stretching the fuck out over this game. That's all I can say. It's really young, and it's like whatever.
All right, Tengu.
I love Tekken 8, but I will say something about, because I don't know if you remember, but one of the things I loved about 7 is every fight felt like it was something new, and like you had no idea what was going to happen. Something about 8, even though it's not that different moveset wise from 7, a lot of fights do feel very the same,
because like it is the heat engagers and like, oh, I'm gonna pop my heat, do this, that.
I think that's definitely it. And also in 7, it felt like maybe because we played the game so late in its life that people were more creative. Well, yeah, I guess it's true. People were more creative in their playstyle, while now, since the game is fresh, nobody wants to really do that. They kind of just Google like what's the guide for this character, so everybody's just kind of playing the same. So for me, like, I still think the game's great. I think I wouldn't say it's the best Tekken. 7 might still be better than 8 for me, but it's a close fight. It's definitely up there.
So, because the way I feel is Tekken, I agree with Rich. Tekken 8 is a new game. I mean, most fighting game players, we do this all the time. A new game comes out, oh, it's so good. A couple weeks later, I don't know about this game.
It's the honeymoon phase.
Couple weeks later, man, this game is dog. Yeah. Like, I saw one authentic post, and I wish I would have saved it, because it was on the Tekken Reddit. And it was, I can't remember the gentleman's name. I'm sorry if I can't remember your name. But he was saying how he really liked Tekken 8. He wasn't saying it to say it like he hates Tekken 8, which I think a lot of people get that misconstrued, like off rip. But as soon as you say, anything about a game, it's you like it, love it, or hate it. Yeah. But he was really speaking to the nuance of the game, in which he said the game is fun. There's just certain characters he doesn't like playing against, and it's because for him, it's because of the heat system. And one of the characters was Devil Jin. I believe another one was Victor. I think Dragonoff is in there, and then I think like Brian and a couple other characters. But it was because those characters, when they're in their heat state, and if they pop it at the right time, the person you're playing, the most people that play those characters know exactly what the checkmate scenario is. Well, okay, I'm gonna pop my heat, and then you can't do anything but block. And if you try anything else, that's GG. This game.
Yeah.
So like he was like, don't get me wrong, I like the game, but I don't like that aspect. And I was like, I can agree with that, because it's like in 7, you only had Rage Art or Rage Drive. So like, cool, you could try and do something cheeky, but you had one shot at it, and whether you landed it or you didn't land it, that was it. But in 8, you got heat, and then you run your heat out, and then once that's done, oh, I didn't get nothing, cool. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use my Rage Art that I still got tucked away in the back over here. Like, so
and also Rage itself.
Yeah, so it's like I get exactly where some people are coming from with not liking the game, but I also agree with you, Rich, on the fact that it's still new.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, even though it feels like it's solved or whatever case, or this current meta is like ass, like what people will call it, because like I can understand like the meta side of it, where it's like, damn, like, yo, this is oppressive. This is like, this ain't Tekken, boomer talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't Tekken. Like, I can't do the one jab like knee. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's a lot of like boomer stuff, and I'm like, well, even though like, I could understand coming from like Dragunov, for example. Like, I don't understand, like, bro, like, he's ridiculous. Like, he's ridiculous. He has like a lot of good pressure tools and like whatnot, and I'm like, damn. Like, I can understand what people are coming from, but I think, like, I feel like a lot of people ain't trying to, like, solve these issues. Like, I don't know, but it's just, it's hard. It's hard.
Hold on. Do you think, okay, with one issue, do you think the heat rush issue, do you have any possible solutions for that?
The heat dash? Like on block or whatnot?
Well, when they get the heat engaged and now they got you pressured because...
I cheat. I play Raven. I'm TPing out. I'm
okay, for those of us who can't just TP out,
good luck. Good luck. I'm TPing the fuck out of that shit, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I don't give a fuck no more, bro. You caught me doing my TP, or you call out for me doing the parry, and you got me, bro. You got me, bro. I can't say much.
Yeah, I'm about to say, this man's talking about he got to teleport. I'm just leave, like, bro.
Yeah, because I can just neutralize the situation, and I'm like, all right, cool, we good, but.
That's crazy.
For anyone else, good luck. Have fun.
But yeah, no.
Wish you luck.
I feel like that's one of the issues with the most recent fighting games is there's these weird mechanic moments where it almost takes the fight into a standstill. Like with Tekken, when you're in the heat, you have to you're in a standstill of just like, okay, I gotta block until this shit ends. And then in Street Fighter 6, you're in a standstill when you get exhausted. Because you just gotta wait till your shit comes back.
It's almost like I'm not gonna lie. I feel like for me, as someone who's been playing fighting games since Super Nintendo, it feels like we didn't have enough mechanics in the beginning, right? We had bare bones anything, and then we started getting a little bit more mechanics. I want to say the 09 era was like the sweet spot because we had enough mechanics, but it didn't take away from the actual gameplay. And now it's just like the mechanics are overtaking the gameplay. So you can be complete dog water, but because you know how to use your heat system in Rage Art, or if you know how to do or if you're drive rushing and drive impacting, it just happens to be a little more optimal than the next person, you can technically still beat someone who was actually better than you for most of the match. But because you knew how to abuse the mechanics a little, the system mechanics a little better, you know, like now you're winning. So it's like, it feels like at this point, there's too many, I can't say defensive. That's why I'm just saying just mechanics, because I can't even say there's too many defensive mechanics. If anything, it might be there's too many offensive mechanics.
Yes.
So
that's
like,
a lot of people are complaining about. So like a lot of people are complaining about like now these games, like which we get to, you know, off topic with the play styles and whatnot. But wow. Ooh. So like a lot of people are saying like there's a lot of like a lot of the offense are just outweighing the defense in the games, and it's like, okay, so like this offense is so oppressive. It's like if I guess wrong, I literally die for it, or I get in even a worse situation than before.
Yeah, and then like in certain genres, fighters like anime fighters, they get away with it because they give you systems to get out of those situations. Like, oh, I'm being rushed down in the corner. Well, I have this option that's a burst where if I use it correctly, it gets the opponent off me. But if I miss, I just got to eat the rest of the time.
Look at Guilty Gear, bro. They don't care about that burst no more.
Because it used to be Canadian burst, but now it don't exist no more because it's full screen.
I think it's like what I told you earlier. Like we're leaving the age of neutral and we're in the age of aggression. Like every fighting game wants you just to be like, all right, just rush in, beat the shit out of them, just hurry up.
I mean, it's more of a RPS game now. It's like it's more of a hyper RPS right now, because obviously RPS always existed in fighting games, especially like the older Street Fighters with that Strike Throw, whatever, right? Oh no, actually Vortexing. Let me say that. So certain games, I forgot.
I say Strike Throw didn't really work.
It was Street Fighter 5. I forgot. Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 4 is more like you gain a Vortex and you better guess right. It's still RPS. It's just a more of a fucked up RPS winning it. And I think
when you hear Abel, what side? What side?
I think with those games you had more defensive options to deal with some of the options that, like, okay, I can cover multiple options with this one option, and then this option only can do X thing, and then if they call me out for that, and I'm fine.
Even in Soul Calibur 6, people hated reversal edge. But you know what people really did like was Soul Charge. Because if you were getting pressured by somebody and it was too much for you to handle, you would just do a Soul Charge, and if they still pressing the button, it pushes them off you and it resets neutral. So it was like, I'm not saying it's bad to make a game aggressive, but if you're gonna make a game more aggressive, you have to be able to balance it out with, okay, well, what are we doing for the defense players? Because unless you're focusing, because there are some games where being defensive is actually a bad thing, and it works for some of those games. Like, for instance, I'm trying to think of one right now. Most 3v3 fighting games, like Dragon Ball Fighters, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, MVC2, like those games, sitting in the corner and blocking, you will die.
Even Guilty Gear, they got if you're too defensive, they're like, okay, I'm just gonna take your meter.
Yeah,
you don't got that shit no more.
Yeah, so some games do push aggression and they work. That's fine, but it's like when you take games that don't really push aggression or have not pushed aggression like that, and you flip the game on its head, your community's not gonna like that.
I mean, usually yes, but because like it's what they're used to. I think it still goes back to the boomer talk because it's still the new age of like fighting games. Yeah. So like we're not used to it, but like I can technically speak. If we're speaking from like Street Fighter 6 to now-ish, it's not even been a year.
Like, I get it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's confirmed, but I'm just saying like right as of now, the way the state of it is you literally taking these games and you pretty much flipping how they've always worked.
Yeah.
Of course, people are not gonna like that.
People don't like change.
You think we're also spoiled? We got so many fighting, like every fighting game that's out right now is pretty much a good fighting game. So people like always nitpick every little thing. Because I feel like anytime a game releases, instead of people being like, "Yo, Street Fighter 6 is sick," or "Sam Show is sick," or "Guilty Gear sick," it's always like, "Oh, why did they do this? This is fucked up. I don't like this." Like you're just like, just shut up and play. Jesus.
Let's go ahead and get to the next topic because I feel like we was already headed that way anyway. Do you need me to read it?
Sure, go ahead.
Is this it?
The Punk the God.
All right, Punk the God says, fighting games nowadays. Oh, by the way, when I read this, I'm just asking y'all agree or disagree, and then we're gonna go into it.
All right.
Fighting games nowadays been taken away from unique play styles, and that kind of sucks. It was nice seeing different styles, rather it be lame, aggressive, neutral based, etc. Now they're just trying to make everyone play rushdown style, which I just don't think suits everyone.
I'm just imagining that in Punk's voice as you were reading it.
This man. This man.
Oh god.
I think I'm sick. I'm like 70-30 yes with him and then a no because I think a lot of people are at fault at this because like yes, the games are pushing more of a aggressive because the aggressiveness is more of a better option than actually just standing there and blocking or doing more defensive options because they don't have they're not as powerful as they are like.
Well, I mean, you can't kill nobody by blocking. That's just a fact.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is that even then, it's like it doesn't create the opportunities that they used to in the past, like, or depending on like the different.
So, are you saying the players aren't creating those opportunities?
Let me get to my point. Let me get to my point. So basically, what I'm saying is that the people are at fault because they lean towards the meta of it rather than like it's like they rather do what works rather than trying to separate themselves from what it not working. Well, obviously there are players that do that shit, right? But it's like it's not really that helpful because it's like these games are pushing this one thing that's like, yo, we need to play more aggressive. We need to push this shit. Fucking nail teeth. Fucking like nail, you better fucking guess right, motherfucker, or you just die, right? Because every time you take your turn, you better take that fucking turn.
That leads into another topic that you have. I get where you go. I'm not gonna say exactly it, but I get where you're going.
Yeah, because the thing is just that like what I'm saying is that like I think it's like yes, Punk is right. I agree with him in its core. But like the thing is that it's the people are at fault for doing this because they're not doing the like for example, they're not like trying to push the like way where it's like, okay, yes, this is an aggressive ass game, but it's not about how do I play more defensively. How do I change my play style to make it so like I can either be better aggressiveness, but more control of the game the pacing of the game to be more controlled and it looks slower. If that makes any type of sense. I might be speaking hieroglyphics to some people, but like that's the best way I can explain it. It's just like how do you change your play style to be where it's like, okay, rather than just being super unsafe. For example, I'm gonna play the safest as possible, but I'm gonna try to get the max reward as I can. Is that even possible, right? Like we don't know. Like someone needs to figure that shit out, right? Whatever game it is, Tekken or Street Fighter 6, for example, I don't know. But like it's hard. I won't lie. Well, it's hard. It's hard to just not just do the meta shit where it's like, well, I'm putting you in this checkmate shit. Guess 50-50, you die. It's optimal. I won't lie. It's optimal. This shit's really good, but it's just like that 30% where I'm coming from is like, where is that 30% from? Like there's probably that one motherfucker in the basement going crazy and it's like, all right, I'm gonna figure this shit out. I just need to get the tech going. Like, we don't know.
We gonna come back to that. But I gotta get Tingus first. But we gonna come back to that.
Give me a quick rundown of what the tweet was talking about.
Pretty much saying that Punk TLDR is saying that like the unique play styles of players has been kind of dwindled down now to just most people playing the rushdown style. So instead of people playing zoning or people more playing more slow grappler style, more players are being pushed towards the rushdown style where you just put somebody in the corner, your corner pressure just has to be on point and just pretty much in the match.
Yep.
I almost agree and also don't, because I agree only because a lot of fighting games, it's usually typical that those rushdown characters are usually top tier, so you're going to see more of that, so it kind of gives you that perception of that's only how people are playing because those are the good characters. But I also don't think that's fully the case, because we just saw a grand finals of 2 Asukas going against each other, and those are very unique zoning type of characters. And even we still see JP all the time and like all these other characters that aren't just rushdown, like in top 8s and sometimes in grand finals.
To your point, how often do we like? I wish we had the numbers, because I like to know how often do we see Asukas or the usually not top tier characters in those situations.
Asuka recently has been a lot. He's been kind of dominating that game, but so that's kind of like an outlier because he's just.
That's what I'm saying. Because I think what Punk is getting at is not a micro but a macro. If you're looking at it from a micro, yeah, cool, we can point out anecdotal evidence of this one time and that one time. But overall, like throughout, if you're looking at fighting games overall, most of the games you see in the top 8, most of the characters that are in the top 8 are the characters who are typically good at rushdown, are really good at corner pressure.
Or some good punishment.
Yeah,
like with minimal risk or some shit like
exactly,
crazy.
like so I think that's where he's coming from. And like you said before, like you were like more players are going towards the meta, but we've talked about this before, and I think we've noted this. I don't know if we coined it or someone else coined it first, but I don't think we coined it, but we called it the patch era. We were talking about it before. Yeah, because we were talking about it was like, because there's the era that we grew up with where there was no patches, where your game was your game and you had to run it. Like whatever your character did, you had time to. That's why the MVC2 community was able to pull out so much content, because their game never changed. But it's like, so sitting in the basement on a game like that is a little different from sitting in the basement on a game like Street Fighter, because like you might learn something one week, to try and change up the meta a little bit, but the next week the devs patch it, and then whatever you was working on no longer works.
I mean, usually, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's harder to like even build something unique or different or game changing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's still the player's fault, but also the 70% is the devs pushing this one way.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because like if you're saying it's 30% the players, I believe you've even said it before. It's like, what's the point of me learning a character that's not top tier if the game's gonna get patched anyway, and now I'm gonna have to learn a whole. I
mean, I'm saying like more of the difficult characters. Like if you're gonna learn a difficult technical character, and your technical character was a top tier and then got guttered or literally got guttered because it's like, bro, like I spend all the time learning this difficult ass character. What's the fucking point of playing this fucking character? These type of characters, I can just play a straightforward fucking character and be like, well, shit, we're gonna run that fucking Soul. We're gonna run that motherfucking Ryu, Ken. Luke. Like, I'm gonna run that shit, bro.
I agree with you, but that's where I feel like that's the 70%, and that's what it kind of shoots back to Punk's point.
Yeah, like I agree. With yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying you disagree enough, but I'm just saying that what that does is shoots back to his point, and the fact where he's like, you can't be unique anymore. It's not really worth it to be unique, because if I'm in a tournament, especially. Me being unique is a loss.
The only unique,
it's more effort.
Yeah.
The only unique shit is gonna be is like the decision making you do in the time and manner in that time.
Exactly.
Where I'm gonna do something really random.
Like it's, and it's like me personally, I hate tournaments that don't have variety. I find myself watching less and less tournaments actually, because like a lot of the tournaments I see, it's the same 3 or 4, even 6 characters typically. I'm like, this is not fun to watch.
But this whole meta stuff really gives you appreciation for those people who do play those out there characters.
Yep.
Like when you watch Snake Eyes do his thing with Zangief, like you're like, holy, this is a good player. Like
But
this guy knows.
Me and you
what
were
he's
talking
doing.
about it in the car. It's like you remember back in the Tingu brought it up. He's like, I remember back in the day where you could be like, man, this guy was a really good Chun-Li player. Or PR Balrog where he was in Street Fighter 4. He was like, oh, this guy's a really good Balrog player. Like you could name players and be like, he's just a good this character player. Now, it's almost like if you don't know like at least half the cast, people looking at you like, what are you doing? You know?
I mean,
Nobody really has like that's their one. There are a few FGC like pros who are like, that's my main guy. I stick with him in all the games. I don't give a shit about the patch. That's my dude. But every character, it's like, yeah, they're like a Zafina player, but they got a pocket dragon.
Yeah, everybody's got a pocket
they're gonna
now.
still switch to that if they need to win. But I don't know. I think a lot of it is, it is kind of like a thing where it's like, yeah, people aren't being unique or creative, but if you give somebody the tools to win tournaments without needing to put in a ton of effort, then it's a lot of it, like Rich said, a lot of it is on the dev. Like
Well,
you can
said the players.
no.
Oh no, you said
said
my bad.
So
mostly the devs are pushing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
They
Yeah,
should
it's like
tag
if
the
they
dev.
want variety, then like if it's the same. Like he's saying, like, oh, all these rushdown characters, that's all people want to do. Like, well, what if these devs made zoners incredibly strong? Well, then he's gonna be like, well, all these zoners.
They already
people
seen
are-
that what happens.
Yeah, so it's like
They made one zoner a little too strong in Street Fighter 6, and boy, you
no,
know,
that what do you mean
Crazy.
all Injustice games? That was just a shootout in those grand finals.
God, high, low, cock. Laser.
it's like you thought we were playing a fighting game. Nah, it's Call of Duty. No, I mean, like I said, I get where Punk's coming from because Punk also comes like from a time where it was early enough to where people had mains. Like Smug was known as the Dudley.
Yeah.
So like, and I don't know if he played 4 like that because I know he came up in 5. But even in 5, he was known as the Karin. He was the Karin. player
I
at
think
that-
he played Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
I think he was a Ken player. Like, yeah, I think he just liked playing Ken, and then he was like,
But in 5, Karin was that you Punk Karin. You know,
I mean,
like
he dominated.
yeah, like
And then, like,
He's
Arsenal
frustrated.
Ashworth.
I get it though. Like because back in the day, it's like you felt like all these legends were coming out one after another. Like every month, you'd be like, dude, did you hear about this guy? He did this, this, and this. That's insane.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you don't hear that often
I'm
of
gonna
a new
say it.
legend.
I'm gonna say this.
uh-oh.
Wait, I think you said this before, but you said upsets are not really that cool to see nowadays.
Yeah, no. They're not.
Yeah, I remember he saying that shit. I was like, yeah, that shit crazy. Like, I won't lie. It's crazy when you see an upset, but it's like, it's not as impactful as it was back then. I
Nah.
can see what you're saying when you say shit like that.
Because
Well,
the ranked you upset, that was impactful.
Yeah.
That wasn't even that far back, but it was just like, yo, a bear?
yeah.
You got a bear? Everybody was like, he got a bear to grands. Even if he loses, he to go. And then he won.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, nah.
Hey.
I kind of miss the shit talking. I feel like we don't get that as much, and if we do, it's like a little thing on Twitter that nobody really sees. But,
Have you watched Red Bull commentate? New York.
no, do they do
They're
crazy
talking a
shit
lot of
talk?
smack. It was
yeah.
fun. It was actually really good. It's a really good watch. It's a really good
I
watch.
felt like
You
back
know-
in the
you know
day.
why? You know why? Because the most people that I've seen that talk smack from most games, like when it was the MVC era, it was the New York players. And they all talk trash.
Yeah.
And then when you got to Tekken, it was Atlanta.
Was it?
Bro, Atlanta players. Yeah. Have you ever seen Poke Chop win a match? Bro.
Or the,
that man is toxic.
How many times Filipino God is just like, you're trash.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Get out of my game. It's
But
like,
who's the
bro.
one guy? Is it Snake Eyes? Who's the one where they did like I think like an East Coast versus West Coast or something?
The one with Snake Eyes did the whole big combat.
Yeah,
Or-
like he was. Everybody was saying like, "Oh, you're gonna lose. You're not shit," and he was just stayed quiet, and then he just sweeped the entire
Yeah,
team
yeah,
on
that
his
was Snake
own.
Eyes. Snake Eyes was the one that did
That was
reverse
sick.
sweep.
No, man, I think the funniest one was like I still said to this day, so it was the Dragon Ball Fighters the player where he was like, Oh man, you lose. You suck. You sorry. Nah, man, GG's. Psych, no GG's. Those were not good games. I was like, oh god. I was like, bro, I couldn't have been on the stage for that. You gotta see me.
It felt like back in the day it was like the WWE with all this stuff.
Oh,
You'd be
yeah,
like,
oh my
did you see
God.
what this guy said to this guy?
Yeah, nah, but I agree with Punk. I understand his frustration. I understand it exactly because like unique characters was a thing, and it should still be a thing. And the fact that it's not. There's another topic you got, and I don't know if you want to do it, but if you, I'm trying to save it because if you do it, I want to actually use it for because they're really closely related. That's why I can't say that.
Let's talk about it then. Fuck it.
Yeah, like because there's.
You're already alluding to it.
I got it. If you over there, I got you.
Yeah.
How much do I have to read
You're
first?
gonna have to read all the way to the when he stops right here, basically. I mean, unless you want to read up to down here, which is fine too. But you have to mention that.
He's like, you got to read all the way down
Alright,
here. I look
cool.
over, there's
It's-
paragraphs.
You good. All right, this is from Mr. Zippy. I usually don't tweet about my thoughts, but it's late at night and I have been thinking about this for a while now. Why do some people in the FGC hate the idea of doing what it takes to win? I've seen countless people refuse to adapt to the meta where their character is bad and decide to complain. It's not just decide to complain and not just pick a character they believe can win in that environment. At the same time, they still call themselves a competitor. I just find it hard to take you seriously. You fly out to all these events, spending money to attend, you only fall short of your goals and complain online, saying, I would have won if I didn't have to play against this character, etc., while getting mad/jealous at other people's success. Why is it that in League, professional players are expected to be able to play all of their champions at their role at the top level, so they can stay competitive during any meta, while most FGCs stick with one character and rely on patches to fix their issues? I just don't get it, especially with how modern fighting games are designed, where every character is straightforward to play. Apart from the usual few exceptions, of course, I would love to hear everyone's opinions on this, since it's been something that's been on my mind. Huh.
I don't play League a lot, and I'm not to the point of pro level at all, so I have no idea what it takes to be like a master at every character in that game.
But in general, I think the biggest thing is like when you do play these other games, right? Like I watch like Valorant, like pro play, like I guarantee you see all these motherfuckers will play all the agents, and they will know how the interaction with different things with.
Yeah, but to that,
like because
the only reason I don't like that analogy is because of how different the games are.
Yeah, but it's the same core aspect. Where
I get what he's saying, but what my point is, I played League, right? And when you play League, you're like, you get your rotation, you learn which power-ups you get first to help you build your combos and do the most damage and whatnot, right? I'm gonna be real with you, it's 4 buttons. Or 5 if you're using the alt, I'm sure. But it's
4 buttons with the most complicated movement in the game, where you have to literally dodge everything with every unit.
But I think the thing is like
it's still not the same.
Because the difference.
That movement and stuff is kind of shared across the roster. Well, I think in fighting games it's a little more difficult.
Yeah, like it's a little. In fighting games, you can't just be like, oh well. I mean, the movement is difficult in a decent amount of fighters. So it's like, apparently, depending on who you play, like if you play Guilty Gear, there is no way in the world you were going to play Giovanna the same way you would try and play a Pot. Because one character can dash and zip and do all this other stuff, and one character can't dash. So it's like, I get it. There's a whole lot of, and then when you're playing League, it's you got to click. There's voice stuff. I know that there's different like mechanics and stuff you can do, and at the top level, I'm sure they're using all of those mechanics. But if I only got to worry about these 4 abilities that I have, as opposed to an entire command list and frame data, and it does different things based on how it hits, when it hits, where it hits, that's a completely different.
And that's why they made the characters easy as fuck nowadays.
I think there's a
Are
reason.
Like real talk, like because there are some games where most of the characters are easy to play, cool, but then even then, that makes the players
easy to play, and I can say easy to play, hard to master. You can start saying stuff like that.
But that's where the difference comes in, because like I get what you're saying with the movement in League, because if you've seen high level League, the movement's fucking
Oh
crazy.
my god!
Like some of the stuff they do.
They showed me this phase player did some OD play, but that play was crazy.
Yeah, like some of it is insane. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, remembering a combo with a different character in League versus remembering a combo with a different fighting game character, nah, it's not the same.
This might piss people off, and I'm not trying to listen. Any League pros, you guys do shit I would never be able to do, so good for you. But I think there's a reason you hear fighting games the term "you're in the lab" rather than anything else with other games with practicing.
I disagree. I actually disagree with you.
I think like
nah.
I think there's a reason that meme of like you're in the lab in fighting games is because it does take a lot of work.
Do you play League, right?
No. I mean, it's not only League. I play like Valorant and shit.
Okay, but yeah, but I'm saying though, like, when you in the lab for these games, like, what are you labbing?
You're labbing actual movement. You're labbing actual like positioning and whatnot. Like because in Valorant, you can actually literally like go to the maps by yourself and literally do like literally laps around the whole thing. Mm-hmm. There's also times where like sometimes you just need to learn abilities with these fucking units to actually do bullet strafing, tap strafing, fucking. There's so much shit.
A lot of these sound like movement options. I'm not gonna hold you.
It sounds like that, but like it's all technical shit that you have to know.
I understand that, but like that's what I'm asking because I get what Tengu was saying. Because when you in a lab in a fighting game, yeah, I get it. You got to lab scenarios in League and stuff like that. But in fighting games, you have to lab certain scenarios and like it's for every character because every character you go against, it could put you in a different scenario that you got to worry about. Like. Not everybody got time to learn every character in the roster, so not everybody's gonna be able to play 3 or 4 different other characters. Like
I'm gonna be real, only like 30 people in the world that does that shit, and those are usually the pro players.
I think it's also a part of like with these other games like Valorant and League, like you do have to know a matchup to some extent, and like it definitely is important.
You need to know like
at least like what they can do.
Yeah, because if you're not aware of what they can do, you're literally gonna just run into a hole and you just die.
Yeah,
but to expect somebody in a fighting game to not only like learn every single character, but then you on top of that, what people don't really understand is you have to learn the matchup with other characters with every single character that you want to play.
Yeah,
so
like
it's a lot.
Like saying just they're sitting here saying, "Oh, why don't you just play the character that's good in the meta?" It's like not everybody gonna be able to do that. It's just a fact. I mean, does that determine if you should be a competitor or not? Like I'm going for the fact that he said if you don't play, pretty much he essentially alluded to if you don't play the meta, I can't take you seriously as a competitor.
No, if you call yourself a competitor, that's what he's basically. He said if you call yourself a competitor, why aren't you doing anything in will to want to win? Like that's what I'm saying. If your goal is to be a competitor and say I'm trying to be good at shit or I don't know pro whatever.
But I'm saying though, why as if you are a competitor, I'm asking, why do you have to be playing the whatever is the quintessential meta in order to be taken seriously as a competitor?
To be taken seriously as a competitor because you're a fucking competitor. You have to adapt to the meta.
That's not answering why you have to adapt. Why you have to play the meta. I'm not saying.
Are you saying have to? Are you saying
adapting to the meta and playing the meta, 2 different things. Because if you play a character that's not necessarily within the meta,
you might want to rephrase your question then. Like just rephrase it better than.
No. I'm just talking to his points. That wasn't me rephrasing. I was talking to his points.
Yeah.
His point. He said, "I can't take you seriously as a competitor." Yeah. Like when you don't essentially play the meta, like unless there was some other word verbiage that I missed within there, but that's what I got.
Hold on, let me get it up.
I feel like a lot of times the meta is just an easier way to win.
I think what he's saying is like,
yeah.
I think what he's saying I've seen countless people refuse to adapt to a meta where their character is bad and decide to complain. I think he's saying that people that complain about the character literally being bad in their meta. And then they call themselves a competitor. Then he call themselves a competitor. Then they say I can't find you.
Yeah, that's why I asked for the details because I'm like if you're just saying I can't take you seriously as a competitor because you're not playing the meta, that's a little different than all right, you complain about a character, but you're not playing the meta. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about that before. It's like if you're gonna play a low tier, you're playing a low tier. If you go into a tournament and you playing a low tier, you still are a competitor, but you are a competitor playing on veteran. like you're choosing that lifestyle. So I get what he's saying. Like if you're choosing that lifestyle, you can't then complain, well, if I didn't play against X character because this matchup is a 7-3 in his favor. Like I get you. You knew that was a 7-3 matchup before you played them 9 out of 10, because if you in those circles like that, you know who's playing who. Like,
even then, like if you play a lot online, you know.
Yeah, like you know a decent amount of these dudes, you know who they play. Like sometimes you get a bad matchup. Like, but if you somebody who's like a character loyalist, like if you play, like let's say you, for instance, you play Raven, and you know that this matchup is not the best for Raven, but you like, I got faith that my Raven can beat this matchup. Cool, had no problem for that. But what you can't do after that, I mean, this is what he's alluding to, is come back and be like, man, I only lost that matchup because he got that broken down 3+4 and I can't do nothing about. Like, it's like.
It's like, nah, he does have that broken 3+4, but do you know how to deal with that?
Yeah, like
I don't think there's any situation in any modern fighting game where it's like that's so broken there's nothing to do with it. Like there's always a solution and an answer to something.
Like if he's saying it in that sense, then I can agree with that. Like I can't take you seriously as a competitor if you playing a bad matchup and you losing.
Yeah, like literally he said, literally verbatim, I have seen countless people refuse to adapt to the meta where their character is bad and complain, and not just pick a character that they believe can win in that environment. At the same time, still call themselves a competitor, and I just find it hard to take you serious.
Yeah,
So,
I probably agree with that point.
Yeah, so that point I can agree with him. What was his next one? Because he said a lot.
You fly out to these events, spending your money at 10, only to fall short of your goals and complain online and say, I would have won if I didn't play. If I didn't play this character against X.
So after rereading it, it doesn't sound like he's saying, if you're not a real competitor if you don't play the meta. I think he's more so alluding towards the people who don't play the meta and complain about it.
It's about the adoption shit. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why he said like the league players. It's like that character's bad. Hey man, we picking up the top tier again, maybe. Like we're gonna do it.
But yeah, but
like,
and back to Tengu's point, I that's why I kind of agree with what he was saying, because I feel like it's easier to pick up a new character in a game like League, or like, because if you know the basic fundamentals, it kind of is like you said, it's universal.
But I feel like as a competitor, right? If you call yourself a competitor, right? I feel like you would have to learn how to dabble in and out and learning these characters, even if it takes you a little bit more time than normal. Like I think that is a valuable lesson, a valuable skill to have in your arsenal.
I'm not gonna lie and say that is a valuable skill to have as a competitor, but it's like you gotta understand, like some people are competitors and they are legit competitors, but they not sponsored like that, so they still got like normal lives.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong, yeah. Like,
no, but that's what I'm saying though, like because if you say, if you're a real competitor, like I get that for the guys who have, they reached that echelon to where they can go home and like all they gotta do is play this game and they can, like, bro. But if you a competitor and you also got a 9 to 5,
I mean, yeah, like, that's just you. But like, I think he's referring to those motherfuckers that goes to the events all the time. Like,
yeah,
I see a lot of
the
people
dudes that you see there at every event.
I'm like, all right, bro. If I see you complain, bro, I'm like, yeah, bro, you got some time.
Yeah,
bro.
like,
I don't know how the fuck you doing going to these events, but hey, you
like,
got time.
Like you get no mercy, you get no flack. Because,
like obviously, I'm not talking about those people, because those people that have a job and stuff and they don't have a lot of time. I don't really like. Yeah, they do compete, but like I don't call them like the competitor. That's when I think about competitor, I'm thinking about you trying to go fucking pro type shit.
Well, I mean,
you trying to go far, very
I'm
far.
I'm not saying that these people aren't even trying to go pro, but in the midst of trying to go pro, you ain't got that pro money coming in. You gotta do something.
Oh, I mean, I'm saying like you have to work. You gotta work, but you gotta do what you gotta do and manage it with time.
Exactly.
That's time management. Then that's a different.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
when you speak of competitor, that there's many different competitors. Not every competitor is the same. Like, there's no way I could see somebody who's trying to become, like a pro Tekken player, but they ain't quite made it there yet. They good, but like they don't have enough time to get to where they want to go. Like, you gotta take care of your personal stuff before you get to this. So, as opposed to like,
I hope so.
As opposed to like, like a knee. Knee has reached that echelon where he can, if there's something that he don't like about his character or he reads the meta, he's like, okay, well, this ain't good. He done put the time in. He's already reached that echelon, so it's nothing for him to switch up and go find another character. It's a little different for the dude that's like, he kind of good, but he just ain't reached that point to where he can, all right, I'm gonna go home and just laugh. That's all I'm saying. It's like, so there's different competitors. I don't know if what his definition of a competitor is. I would love to ask him, because I would definitely like that would change how I feel about the question, because I have to know what you like you said, you consider a competitor somebody who's like, yo, you in the lab, you grinding out, you doing what you got.
The whole goal is to win the fucking tournament.
Yes.
And you would do anything necessary to win the fucking tournament.
Yeah.
That's why I think a competitor is like cutthroat, just straight cut, Black Mamba, like cutthroat, like
but like
anything necessary.
But I would think like somebody like Gentleman Thief before he got sponsored, I still think he was a competitor, and he picked a character that at the time was considered super low tier. And mopping dude.
I mean, it just happens to be that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
and then he picked a better character.
I mean, he even, because I've talked to Gentleman Thief, he even said like he still thinks that Jamie's good. He just wanted to play somebody else, which is fair. Yeah. You can. It happened to me. Like, you play a character for so long, you like, I just want to play somebody else. Like, it happens. So I was like, I don't know. Like, I get it. I agree with his point. I'm kind of like a 60-40 because I agree with him, but the 40 is like I said, I have to know what he would consider a competitor.
Yeah, that's valid.
That's the only part where I'd have to have that further information going on.
Well, now I'm curious. We got 10 minutes left. What's your non-FGC topic that you were talking about earlier?
I ain't gonna hold you, Tengu. We don't never end these on time. It's crazy that you actually tried to end on time.
Listen, I'm the one that edits this shit. I see that shit going to an hour. I'm like, fingers crossed.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, crush that dream now. It don't never really end like that. Oh, but
hopefully an hour and 10.
No,
you don't know.
we never know. Yeah. But anyway, so the out of pocket topic I have today, since Rich doesn't want to wanted to be anime, it's gonna be a music based one.
Oh shit! I'm very surprised.
Depending on the music.
Wait, was the other one anime based?
It could have been. I'm not gonna say. Next time.
You're gonna say it. Oh my god.
Next time.
Depending on the music, I'm probably gonna have nothing to say.
So if y'all do not know, Kendrick Lamar just came out with a diss.
Oh.
For J. Cole and Drake. Did you hear it?
No.
I kind of want to play it so that you can hear it. Yeah, we're gonna have to do it. We have to do an edit. You can have to like flip around so you can talk about this, right?
Yeah, I could probably.
Cool. For y'all that didn't hear it, go listen to it, cause boy, I got some opinions and I don't think Rich gonna like them. So, that was pretty much the verses. So he has a little bit after that, but everybody is kind of losing their mind. Talk about some Kendrick this Drake and J. Cole. Oh, it's the hottest diss ever. Bro, my honest opinion, y'all lack disses so much in the new era of rap that when somebody put out an inkling of a diss, y'all meat hop real heavy.
I mean, it's very rare nowadays.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Because when I heard the diss, I told Rich was there. I listened to it that day and I came back out and I was like, I mean, like it was it a diss? Yeah. Was it like praiseworthy? Not really. Not gonna hold you. Like, it was the lightest diss. His control diss was but way better than that diss, to be real with you.
Nigga was name dropping, literally.
Like,
I wish I remember who it was. There was one diss track that I listened to and I was like, holy shit. It was Nas and someone else that had beef.
Oh, Nas and Jay-Z.
No, it might have been. It was somebody.
Are you talking about Ether?
It might. I think it was a more recent one.
Oh, it was a more recent one. See, I don't know about his recent.
See if I can try to find it, but I remember seeing that because when I was listening to this with Kendrick, I was like, okay, but where's the big drop on like the shit he's gonna say?
That's what I was like, bro. Because when I heard that one, I thought of like previous diss tracks, and I was like, Eminem when he dissed Benzino. Or like I said, Nas versus Jay-Z with Ether, or Remy Ma with Sheether, or J. Cole with 1985, or Drake when he dissed Meek Mills. Like, I was like, the diss was like, it was light. It was real light. I couldn't really get behind it the way everybody else was getting behind it. Like, I know that's not a popular opinion. I'm pretty sure somebody gonna be like, man, this man don't know nothing about no diss tracks. Sure, if that's how you feel. Like,
oh, it wasn't Nas. It was Maze and Cameron.
Oh,
that's what it was.
That's two old school raps. I'm pretty sure you know. You listen to old school raps, you might know who they are.
I listen to old R&B.
Fair enough.
I don't listen to old school rap.
Fair
like that.
enough. Fair
I'm
enough,
be
fair
real.
enough.
Like that is where
I know. I forgot you don't like it. I know. I forgot.
Hit
I
hop.
just-
Hibbity
just
hop.
thought of something.
I'm just memeing. I'm just memeing, but like,
all the old heads we
yeah,
come.
yeah, I know. But like
This young blood.
no, all seriously, no. Like the old school rap I liked was like the oldest like part I would go to is like maybe Nas. I like some Nas stuff. I like a little bit like Tupac stuff.
Yeah.
But like I'm not too like deep down there where I'm like with the R&B stuff. I love that. I love R&B. Old R&B is really good.
I just thought about in this because I just after seeing it with the Maze and Cameron shit in their beef track, I forget which one. One of them says the line that even Diddy fucked you, and like made a
Really? Oh, that's wild.
And-
See?
and he made like shit, like talking shit to him on Twitter or whatever it was, saying like, dude, you were even there with Diddy got dildos on the counter or some crazy shit. And everybody was like, what is he talking about? And now with the news and shit, you're like, oh fuck, did he really fuck Maze? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. But that's what I was like. And the reason I brought the topic up is because I've been online and like YouTube shorts and everybody's like, what you gonna say? What you gonna say, J. Cole? What you gonna say, Drake? What really made me do this is the fact that somebody made a top 3 of the big 3 from J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick, and they put Kendrick at number 1. And I'm not saying Kendrick shouldn't even be number 1 or should he be number 1. What I'm saying is you only made him number 1 the second you heard him do a light diss to Drake and J. Cole.
I just think that like I think the disc itself was like I think it's more like I call it warning shots more this like where it's like, hey bro, I'm ready with the loaded gun, I'm gonna just I'm pointing at who trying to come for the top spot. That's why I kind of got.
That's what I felt. It felt more like a warning rather than like I'm actually gonna be talking shit.
But like if you look it up online, like there are 30-minute videos of them going over a 2-minute verse and going through every bar and being like, this is why the diss is so great. I'm like, if you went to the Hit 'Em Up track that Tupac made about Biggie, you would spend about a good 4 to 5 hours just going through that track. Like, come on, man. It's just like...
Everybody's saying
I mean,
it's
I haven't
great, but
dived too deep with other people thought about the thing.
I didn't even
like
try.
I knew it had positive reception, but I didn't think people were.
I ain't even try and dive. I listened to it in my YouTube algorithm. Man, oh, you heard the diss track? Watch this video about the diss track. Watch this video about the diss track. And I'm like, at first I was like, oh, it was a cool little diss track, and it didn't really bother me too much. But it was the fact that I kept seeing videos.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, this wasn't even like a diss like that. Like you say, it felt like it was more of a warning shot.
I think Rich is right. It's just like we don't get this shit very often. So when people finally get it, they're like, oh, and it's like, oh, okay.
Like was it Groundhog Day that J. Cole made where he dissed like Kanye, then he said something about Wale, and Wale responded to it. I forget what that track was called, but yeah, J. Cole made his own little thing a while ago. It's like, and that had more heat to it than what I heard from Kendrick. It's like one of the hardest bars on that whole disc was F the Big 3. It's just Big Me. Because he was responding back to something that J. Cole said.
And then also the Andre 3000 one where he had the stick something I forgot.
And then he had a couple heaters in there.
Yeah.
The Prince one.
Yeah.
Prince outlived Mike Jack. I was like, oh, that's pretty hard.
Yeah.
I'm with you. But like, I done heard many diss verses. That ain't even in my top 5. I'm gonna be real with you. You know?
I mean, it's like I said. It's also like a lot of new people are into rap now, so it's like a lot of people don't go really far back to see that. It's kind of like the old school, new school thing.
I know.
Boom,
If you want to
pop.
see some real disrespect for rap, go watch URL. Go watch Smack. Go watch some battle rap. Because that's literally just dudes dissing each other in front of each other.
No,
Like,
but the thing with battle rap, like, what turns me off sometimes when they get to like the gun bars and I'm like, I heard it, yo. It gets to the point motherfuckers are actually saying the bar like itself because we already know what's coming, the punchline, and then they put a different spin to it.
You know how many times Arsenal done said you can't spell bars without putting the R's in it. Hey yo. No man, I'm just like
Nowadays it's funny because you're like, I guess I'm just gonna watch these multi-millionaires argue, like even though they're at home, like, oh, he said something to me, I don't care, 1, 2, they just count their money.
Nah, sometimes they're in their feelings.
yeah. No. Let's be real. If we talk about the rapper that's typically in their feelings the most, don't make a record about me, bro. I'm just stating what everybody already know. It's Drake.
Oh, Drake.
It's Drake. You say something about Drake, bro. He about to make a whole album about your whole family. You
remember, bro? He said
normal songs.
The time when Pusha T's diss track was a disrespectful diss track. That's a good diss track. That's a good diss track.
That was fire, boy.
It was very shocking when he was saying at the time. Right now, it won't be that shocking if you didn't know at the time, but at the time, it was a very shocking diss track.
Yeah.
No, oh my god.
He not wrong.
He said, "Let that little boy go home, bro." I'm like, oh my god, no. What he said about 6?
Yeah.
Yo, that was the most disrespectful shit, bro. Oh, and the way he delivered it was nah. Yeah. Nah, that shit was OD.
But that's what when you think of a diss track or a diss verse, that's what I hear about. Like when Drake made the verse on Stay Scheming.
Oh.
Bro. He's I was like, hey, this man coming for something. Who neck he coming for? Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know, man. Like I will agree with you. I think like the rap game just because nobody disses everybody on their kumbaya stuff no more because you can't diss nobody now. Because now if you diss them on the track, they trying to pull up to your crib. It's like, dang, bro, like we can't keep this like in the music. Like,
nah, I fucking don't think about the music shit.
Yeah, man, that's. I don't know. I just had to say that. I had to get it off my chest. I ain't gonna hold you because I'm like, I am so tired of all y'all hopping in these comments, being like, Kendrick the GOAT, Kendrick officially the best, Kendrick just slayed Drake and J. Cole. Really?
Yeah. I need Drake. I think Drake might have a chance to actually clap back if he has some ammo for it. Hey, Drake. I do for Kendrick. Kendrick. By the way, Kendrick is my favorite artist or my favorite rapper, not my favorite artist, favorite rapper. So I do think that like if Drake, because when it was so surprising when he dissed Meek Mill and the way he did it, it was like, damn. Like I imagine there's some other people that he can do it to, and if he can do it to Kendrick, I'll be surprised. He got me, bro. He got me.
I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah. I did not think Meek Mills was gonna lose to Drake.
Yeah,
I was like, Meek Mill actually has a battle rapper career.
Yeah,
so he got the bars. I know he got the disses.
If y'all don't know, there is literally videos of Meek Mill as like a legit battle rapping motherfuckers. I'm like, god damn, like
if you would have told me back before Stay Scheming and Back to Back came out, I would have been like, Meek Mill's got it hands down. Now, hey man, you better not say nothing about nobody because with these Diddy allegations out, your name came up.
Hey man, you got bye singing it.
Do you ever wonder, like, this is my tin hat version of me thinking, but do you ever wonder how many of these diss tracks come out you think are like industry made, where they're like, hey,
oh yeah, there's a decent amount of them that's industry made, but you can tell the ones that's real. Like Jay-Z and Nas, that was real beef. They were not friends. You know? Tupac versus Biggie, they were not friends.
That was one of those like, you locked the door, right, honey? Like,
yo, I mean that beef was to the point where you couldn't play Biggie on the West and you couldn't play Tupac in the East, bro. Like, man, I heard you playing that. What you got going? Like, huh? No, man. But all right, since we already on the topic of music, Tingle, how much do you know like about hip hop and stuff like that? Like, cause I don't want to.
It depends the type of.
You might as well get to the anime stuff. I'm gonna be real. If
It
he's already
it
gone
depends
too
on the
far
type
gone,
of
bro.
artist and who it is.
I mean,
So,
I could do more music, but we can also do another. We can do an anime question because there's a couple people that seem to like the anime question last time. So
I do like that little hold on white check. Eli, do you know?
little white. Shit. It wasn't. You said you don't know much. I was just clarifying.
It is a weird
I think-
era of hip hop that I do know. Like I know a lot of like classic, and I know a little bit of like 2000s, but then nowadays it's kind of.
And by the way, before y'all come at me in the comments, his last name is Hernandez. Don't let him fool you.
I was about to say something fucked up, but I won't.
I mean, we on YouTube. Go ahead. I don't care. You can bleep it out.
All right. Well, I could say this because I'm Hispanic. But I was gonna say I got the last name to say the slurs, but I got the white for the privilege.
Hey yo. We leaving that in, by the way. We're leaving that in. Yo, they gonna be at him in the
In a good way.
in a good way.
You know how many times Nate has said that to me?
Hey man, if we get pulled over, you talking to the cops.
I'll be sitting up straight. Hello, officer. Let me just turn that music down real quick.
all right, though. But it's an anime question, right?
Go ahead, Daryl.
Why you?
It's
I don't
nothing
understand
good.
why you don't like them
It's
when you
nothing
get
good.
hype within them.
It's nothing good about them, right?
Why?
At this point,
Just go. Just go.
At this
just
point,
go.
I'm just curious what it is,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna look at Richard's reaction.
Just go.
I gotta explain it because it's a weird one. So the question that I came across was it was about anime protagonists, and pretty much it said which anime protagonist do you feel gets garden tooled HOE the most?
Oh, which main character gets?
Like when I say which protagonist gets, well, you just bleep it out. Which protagonist gets hold the most?
Oh, I gotta remember
Yeah,
to
we're
bleep
talking
this
about the
out. What time
hoe
are we at?
tool from Minecraft. Hoe.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
the
garden
tools?
tool.
garden tools.
Yeah. Yeah, the garden tools. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and start it off just to get y'all a mindset of understanding. Mine is Itadori. I think Itadori get hold out of a lot of his fights. I'm not gonna hold you. Like the reason I thought of this is because of literally because of the Shibuya arc. If you didn't watch Shibuya arc, just don't listen to what I'm saying.
You're pretty much talking about like who pretty much gets the most like screwed up and like has to actually struggle to get their shit done.
Because like almost every time Itadori starts winning or he get a leg up, I don't think his writer like him. I'm gonna be real. Cause like when he was fighting Mahito, no, before he even got there, when he was fighting Chozo, and they was fighting in the bathroom. It was a close fight, but he wound up losing. Whole reason Sukuna got to come out was because he lost that fight when he fought Mahito, and he gave Mahito one of the longest anime combos I have ever seen, and he still wasn't winning that fight after a while. What Toji lost his hand, or Toto lost his hand. That's how bad Itadori was. But from one dude, that's how bad like Itadori get hold, bro. Like even the people who help him can't help him win the fight. Like this is crazy. I feel like he's the number one. Like he get to hold the most in all his fights. Like even if he winning, his writer just like, nope, can't have that. Y'all still think? Oh, he still think about
I
it.
think I got one. Back in the day, I would say Deku because this man breaks his entire body just to get one punch off.
That's a decent one.
But nowadays, I gotta say it's Denji. Denji, man, dude. First of all, just to go into that Chainsaw Man form, he literally says he feels the chainsaw ripping through his head. So that's gotta suck just to do that. And then even in his fights, sure he might win, but then like emotionally, socially, like everything else in his life just gets crushed. And I don't know if anybody has read the newest chapter or the newest stuff of Chainsaw Man. I won't say anything for the podcast and everything, but he is not doing well. This man is trying his best. He just wants to live a normal life. And every time he does any of these fights and stuff, it just feels like it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I don't know how he's going to like come up from this.
Did you get one yet?
Nah. There's Like when I think about a character getting hold, I have to think about the maximum wholeness of like the character and like the reason why they got hold. Like I'm trying to like get one. Like I have a few, but it's only moments they got hold. It's not them getting hold consistently. You feel me?
Yeah, because with mine and his, there were consistent moments where like
like I thought about Dorfin, right? Dorfin got hold out of some situations, but he's not.
I feel like the whole first half of Thorfinn life was him getting the hold.
I mean, technically speaking, especially from his main goal, he got ultra hold. Like,
yeah, that was fucking nasty.
But like now he's not really getting hold because he's fucking he went from freaking Killer Madman to MOK. Like, come on, bro. Like
peace, my brothers. It's like, bro.
Yeah, like. I would say like someone like Thorfinn, but I was like he only got hold in moments where I'm like think about what is a character that could just hold, just straight hold for as a main character too.
Yeah, because the reason I made it main character is because you can always think of a character in any anime that just get hold, but like it's very rare when you see main characters just get hold.
Trying to think of one. Genos is a good one. But he's kind of there just to show like Genos is strong, this guy's stronger, and then here comes Saitama to win the fight.
Yep.
So he kind of has to be like just messed up all the time. I would say he doesn't lose fights, but just in general, Guts gets hoed pretty bad.
But that's
I don't know much about
that's his whole, but that's literally his whole like backstory.
Yeah, it's just hey, your life sucks. Deal with it. Like figure it out.
Fair enough. That's facts though. That's facts.
Really.
You don't got one character.
Like because like all I can think of is moments.
If you can't think of a character, you can think of just give me some moments. Then that's fine.
Like Gon getting hold, like bro, like he got hold by like he literally lost his nin at one point because of the little like chibi shit that's some cheap shit. Like he got hold in that fight. Like I can just think of like little things like that where it's like yeah you got hold.
I can think of a character getting hold. One of the worst anime character getting hold moments for me was in One Piece with Luffy before the 2-year arc where he came up and he watched his whole crew get wiped.
Yeah.
And like had to sit there and watch.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
He ain't no hockey. He can't do nothing.
Yo, he had to sit there and watch his whole crew get demolished.
And he started off that stuff like, hey, we back together. Look how strong we are. Yeah. And then immediately just got destroyed. Oh wait, no, that was before that.
No, that was before that.
That was before that. Was that the 2-year?
No, that was after the 2 when they all came back when they finally met up with each other.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Even when he was in that war, the Pirate War. Yeah, even then, like everybody was like, "Nah, you ain't ready for this. Don't come to this war." He's like, "I'm coming," and then he does okay, but even then he gets murked pretty bad during that.
I mean, basically it was like Marco and Rick and Whitebeard helping his ass not get his murked.
He would pretty much be like fully dead if Jubei didn't jump in and grab him.
They were legit like, hey, look, you are not ready. These are the big dogs. These men will not hesitate to murder you. I'm gonna go get my brother. Loses his brother, starts crying, and then the admirals realize this man has conqueror's hockey. Hey, yo, get him up out of here.
Trying to look at animes right now to see who gets like real messed up.
Yeah,
I'm like not.
I knew this was going to be a good question because I'm like, this is not something that happens too often.
In the beginning, Tanjiro got hold pretty bad.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
Now he's pretty much holding his own pretty well.
That's what I'm saying. Like I can only think of moments where it's like,
yeah, a lot. I guess there's not many animes where it's like.
Yep.
That's why Jujutsu Kaisen stands out a lot because you'll watch that and be like. It's not like normal shows. You're like, he's gonna save the day. Yeah. It's fine.
There's not a fight where you see Itadori jump in. And you're like, everybody's saved. No.
You'll be like, yo, dude, the main character of the show might just die. Like, we might have to move on and give this to somebody else.
Yeah, like even in like Attack on Titan, they had the one of the first the main character just die moments when Eren got ate by the Titan. Yo, everybody was like, did he just die?
What was I gonna say? The creator of Jujutsu Kaisen, he tweeted something where he literally was like, nobody is safe. Like, if it makes the story interesting, I will kill everybody. Like, I don't care.
He showed that in the Shibuya arc
Oh yeah,
Bro,
dude,
when he took out Nanami, I was mad that Nanami died.
When
For
I was
y'all that don't
reading
know,
that-
I'm sorry, but Nanami dies.
when I was reading that
Bro,
arc,
why
I
are
was
you
just
just
like,
throwing out spoilers like that? God damn, bro.
it's
I've
been
been
out,
telling
it's been
you
out for a while.
Yo, like that. This, you know what's funny? This man reads more manga and watches more anime than me.
Have you read?
I'm talking about for the
Kaisen?
people.
Oh, the people.
Bleep it out.
You might as well. You going out to
I
bleep
gotta
it out.
remember. I gotta actually watch this episode now and bleep this out.
Yep.
Just get to this part. Just think about about around a minute 16, minute 15.
Did Aladdin get hold?
Ichigo got messed up real bad.
But bro, he recovered every time. Like, let's be
Yeah.
real.
We didn't say Itadori recovers. He does get hold though.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember who.
By the way, Bleach has like one of the best villains. That full arc stuff where the guy has his lackey wipe his memory to get into the Fullbring people, and then like team up with Ichigo, teach him his.
I'm not gonna
stuff,
lie.
and then resets his mind again.
Light kind of got hold. Like, let me be real here. Story wise, he got kind of hold. Now thinking about some of the things now, I'm like, hold on. Light
That's a
did
good
get
hoe, and you're kind of like, all right, yeah, he deserved it.
Like, he deserved it, but like, he got hold. Like, how you got rid of the strongest nigga, and then the mentions comes out of nowhere. Like, let me be real, he got hold. He's like, where you niggas came from? 2 of them niggas, and the nigga baited himself just to. Yeah. Like, come on.
Oh, I know one. You ever watch Kengan Ashura?
Yeah.
You don't know
Yeah.
that he gets messed up real bad. Or Oma's his name. The main character.
Oh yeah, well, but that's on him though.
He walks in there like I'm the shit. I'm gonna beat up all these people, and then he's like, oh, these people came to fight, and like he makes it pretty far, but
That's
still gets
that's
bodied.
on him though, because oh no, I'm thinking.
Oh my god,
Baki, too.
the main character of To Your Eternity.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that character got hold.
Yeah.
He got hold.
Yeah.
He got hold to the limit. To the limits, he got hold.
Yeah, I can't even hold you. But
I forgot his name was.
I thought it was King of Ashura. I thought the main character was Nico.
That's like
my
his
God.
teacher.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
think.
yeah. But yet again, he knows. His teacher even told him, every time you take out a loan, it shortens your lifespan. You can't keep doing this.
Hmm.
And every time he start losing,
He's like, who cares?
yeah,
I'll just pop this shit whenever.
he's like, bro, just train properly. He's like, no, your way sucks because you died.
What's his name got messed up a little bit? Ganta from Dead Man Wonderland.
Oh yeah.
Every once in a while he'd pull some
I
bullshit
couldn't
and save the
finish
day.
that one
but-
because the first half of that anime was so messed up. But I heard like the second half he becomes like a boss.
See, I made the mistake of watching that anime back in the day dubbed. So his voice dubbed is so annoying. It's like a crying little teenager, and you're like, oh my god, just shut
I mean, he
up.
is.
Yeah, but
He literally gets thrown into a prison because for nothing. He didn't do it.
But his voice actor literally has voice cracks. Like,
Well, yes.
and I'm like, come on.
That makes
I know
sense
I know
for-
it makes sense, but I don't want to hear that for hours.
What
on
do you
end.
mean? Nah, I think I'm gonna be real with you. If we go on one, if we talk about like characters in their own, Naruto and the first Naruto, that man got hold consistently in that first one. I'm not gonna hold you. Like
Even
yeah,
when he got like power ups, he still wasn't.
yeah,
good.
like he had power ups, he had cool moments, but for majority of that show, the start of the show is just people not liking him. Like, oh, that's the little demon fox boy. Stay away from him. Like, bro,
I mean,
how many times did we see that swing?
hey,
I'm gonna be the Hokage.
and now he is.
And now he is. He made it, but that first Naruto specifically, and then the ending of it. Oh, my friend left. I'm gonna go save my friend, and then they all go out there. They do their thing. Naruto gets the Sasuke, and what happens? He loses. He got
You can also say the main character from Tokyo Revengers, just because that's kind of his
He's
thing, though, is he gets his ass
I'm about to say
beat.
he
He's-
is a hoe. Like,
Yeah, like
He's the worst main character I ever seen in any fucking show.
he
in
just
my life.
he cried. He just cries.
No, no.
that
It's
whole
not just
series
that.
is just. I respect how much of a
No.
bitch he is.
I've been told from the manga readers. I've been told that because of the anime ends where like his homeboy, that ending where they sitting in the chairs.
Oh, they got clapped. Yeah.
that's the last thing I saw. But I was told by a couple people like he is the worst main character.
Yo,
I don't know what he does, but he's the worst.
I read the manga. He's the worst main character I ever seen in any.
Without spoilers, what is it that makes him the worst?
Well, he gets like in his big, I guess, like final fight, he doesn't even earn it. Like it's not like you see him like training and get better.
It's not just that. It's worse than that. So basically, LTDR, it kind of goes, if you watch Marvel, it kind of goes towards time travel type thing happening. So a lot of time travel's happening, and then there's a time where there's a not perfect, but there's a really good
I know
future. There's a really good future that happens, and this motherfucker, what's her fucking name?
I can't remember.
Takemichi. I think his name is Takemichi. I'm pretty sure. This motherfucker decides to be like, I want to do the X thing. There's this X thing. Basically, he does an action and he fucks even more shit than he did before. And even though there was a good future in the time, he fucks everything up. He just fucks more shit up.
So you're saying
he just fucks more shit up than he did.
No. So you're saying he essentially completes the quest, and then he just
basically,
and then he's just like, I want the true ending.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that's even worse about that is they don't even commit to that ending. Because remember at the end they're like ending number 3, and then they fix it.
Basically, technically speaking, I understand what you're saying, but technically speaking,
yeah, because like I don't want to say any spoilers.
Yeah,
but, like
basically,
he does the loop again and like gets.
There's so many loops. Like there are some terrible futures and terrible fucking paths. I'm telling.
Hey yo,
terrible,
I'm not gonna lie, but the one this is in the anime.
Yeah.
The one where he come back and like he with her old girl.
Yeah.
And then you just see the truck.
No.
Yeah, that shit fucked.
I was like, damn. It's like, man, my boy can't be happy for 2 seconds.
Yeah, he went through it, but like the way he went about his decision making was so fucking ass. That's all I'm gonna say. It was just trash. He's the worst main character I ever seen in any anime.
So he's just like terrible.
Yeah,
just all around terrible. Okay.
And you know what I'm saying, because it's just like he had really good outcomes and sometimes, and then there was just very bad outcomes, and it was like, damn, GG's, right?
But then it's the ones that he caused on himself. That's where it's like, all right, bro.
Crazy, bro.
Nah, man. Okay.
I've been reading a manga the art is pretty rough, with the stories. The story's weird, but it's still really good. You might know what this is. You might not. I can't say the title of this manga, but maybe you might be able to.
Oh, what the
It's
heck
real
is this?
popular recently, and it's actually really good. The term that the artist gave for everybody else, because he literally said not everybody on the planet's black, I forgot, is he said it's called Dog Ninja, but it's a really, really good manga, and it's really strange and weird, but that's a character who gets fucked up. He just gets destroyed constantly.
Hey, man, look. All right, well, told you that was gonna be like every time he don't like the topics, but then like we get through the topics.
It's a scary topic to talk about. That's all I'm gonna say.
I gave you so the ones that hold on, just so for the people, like, so the ones I gave you last time and this time, were they bad?
I mean, they're not bad. They're on the safer side.
Wait, what do you think I'm gonna be asking you?
Yo, there's some people that ask some crazy stuff, bro. Hey, man.
Oh, I'm not trying to get us demonetized, but we even make a cent. That's crazy.
Oh God.
All right, man. Anybody got y'all anything to say if y'all get up out of here?
Dynark.
I've started streaming. I might start making YouTube videos soon because I actually have ideas for stuff. So it's just TV Tengu.
You got
on
a schedule?
Everything. Yeah, every Fridays and Saturday nights now, and then every other Wednesdays, depending. But I'm gonna try to really stick with that.
All right, and then I might start streaming. I don't know. I had a couple people come up to me. I got some free time. It might happen. Well, other than that, man, it's been a great round. This round is over. We'll see y'all next time. Be easy.